and welcome to Perils of the Warp. This is episode number 32, I believe. I just looked that up and I fucked it up already. But either way, this is Grimworks Warhammer, I guess, because we just cover Warhammer stuff. Podcast. I'm your host, Roman. I'm co-hosting with
John.
And we also have a special guest in studio, the CEO, proprietor, and everything of Grimworks, Tony.
Yay, it's Tony.
It's fucking terrible.
Mm.
You're a piece of shit, and I hope you die.
It's a second time on the show. First time, no, I don't listen. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, join everybody else who don't listen to this podcast. Yeah. All right. Well, there's a little bit that we want to get into, but before we do that, gotta talk about hobby progress. John, why don't you start us off?
Hobby progress.
Progress.
What have I done?
He's watched a lot of Game of Thrones. That's what he's doing.
Remember that buying, we're counting as hobby progress.
Is that what his hobby progress is? I bought more toys that sit in a corner.
So I built a Kennedy Blade Occult.
Kennedy.
Troop guys from Heresy for 1,000 Suns.
Mm-hmm.
I have been painting my Tyrant Siege Terminators from Iron Warriors. I'm still trying to get the right color that I want for them.
Okay.
I built most of my hobby practice is building. I don't do a lot of painting.
Wait, aren't you supposed to be painting Harlequins?
Year of painting.
Year of painting. I LA awesomed Tony's Harlequins so that they could fall apart and I can redo their weapons because their weapons were for 7th edition. And those weapons are not very good in 8th edition, so got to take off all those Harlequin blades and attach some caresses and some kisses because they're so gay clowns.
Fits with Tony's aesthetic.
Yeah.
For once, I heard they were good once.
What
what happened with the new 8th edition?
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And there you go.
I built the Osiren Contemptor for 1,000 Suns in Heresy. Had a lot of fun with that. I put him in a running pose.
Okay. Like everybody else does, because you don't want that fucking static-ass pose.
Well, I was going to have him in a Captain Morgan pose, but I already did that with my Iron Warriors one, and I was like, wait a minute, I can do this running. So now he's balanced on one foot.
I gotcha.
I started doing the basing for my Knight Army for the Alamo GT.
Okay, yeah. Because that's a thing.
Yeah.
Coming up May 4th, 5th, and 6th?
No, I think it's like the 18th or some shit like that.
Is it? Fucking shit.
I want to say that is it.
I mean, that's pretty good. As for my hobby progress, it has not been on my side of things. In short, I bought a fuckload of Heresy stuff, like a lot. I spent well over $200 on Heresy stuff, which I am now regretting, just for the fact that I'm like, oh, it's harder to eat right now. So, but spending $200 on Heresy stuff, I finally got my King Daddy. I got fucking Horus. Started putting them together. We were putting them together like I just bought him. And me and John were at Grimdark, and we just bought him. I just started fucking putting them together, so I was super excited.
So Roman actually spent 200 pounds because this is Forge World stuff, which actually equates to $400.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You serious?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, I'm kind of an idiot, but either way, I bought a whole bunch of stuff. Either way, I bought some stuff. As for actually painting, I have not painted anything of mine. I've been working on the commission, which is very, very slow because it's all brushwork at this point. There's not really a way for me to use my airbrush and really speed up the process. I'm kind of trying to find a way to do that, but as of right now, it's just all paintbrush work, so it's going by very slow. But I'm just chipping away at it, just making sure I can get it done. It's not done. It's not gonna be ready until late May, which we've already. I talked to Grimdark about it. They were already cool. That's kind of the time frame they gave the customer. So we're getting there.
Yeah, me and Roman kind of guessed that this army is going to be used for the Alamo. So
I guessed it was, but when I did talk to the client, he didn't say anything about that. He didn't even say like really anything. I just assumed it was going to, so that's what I started working on. But you can't just have infantry. You gotta have some tanks, especially with Gene Stealer Colts. I'm sure they function very well on foot. I don't think you want to drag that many models around. I think you want some transports to kind of move stuff around. Plus, that's their like only real anti-tank and like anti-vehicle, which you're gonna need at a GT because you're gonna have knights. And you can swamp a knight, but you're only gonna be nicking his toes for a little bit until he stomps on you. So that's why I figured it's not for that. So we'll just go ahead and like I said, just chipping away at it, which sucks because I so just want to work on my heresy stuff. But I can't. I have this commitment. This customer is expecting it, so I had to put my best foot forward there. Other than that, not really much. I really haven't assembled much of even the stuff that I bought. Just really been working on that, and other things have been taking up my time. Mostly work. Work's been sucking, but yeah, been doing that. Tony, I know you don't have any hobby progress, but
Tony built the endless spells
I did
from
a while
the
back.
yeah,
from the moon
a while
planets
back.
people.
I fell in love with the fucking the moon.
yeah,
That's the only reason that I dove into the Age of Sigmar stuff.
mm-hmm.
And I built it like the day I bought it. I came home and I put it together, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna paint it." And I realized that I don't have no paints, no brushes, don't know how to do the technique. I did prime them.
Okay.
I primed all the endless spells,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, again, don't have any paint. I used to, but when I go, oh man, this shit's not for me, I started giving away my shit.
Yeah.
Like, cause when I bought Blood Bowl, I had bought in all these fucking paintbrushes and building shit. I bought my own cutters and X-Acto knives and all that. And it had to be where I got to a point where I gave everything away, where I asked Roman if I could have a spare cutters that he had. And I was like, okay, he gave them to me, but I put it together. It's somewhere.
All right, there you go.
But I
Hobby
did
progress.
look into getting into the Glitspites.
Gloom
Gloom
Spite.
Spites. For that, I think that's gonna be my army if I ever get some Age of Sigmar stuff.
You're gonna want trolls.
I kind of want to go the little red dudes.
Oh man, you're
Squigs.
gonna be painting so much.
I
like you're
like,
gonna
I
need
saw
a
'em,
fuckload of those.
like
dudes.
I saw them. I'm gonna put them together, get them all in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna prime them red, and I'm just gonna color the teeth. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do.
That's still 2 colors. So if you want to go to a tournament, you need more than that.
Put green in their eyes.
There you go. 3 color minimum. Like
that's all. That's gonna be my shit.
I guess we want to be that dickhead.
But the little dudes look cool. Then there's one that makes a really big dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want something I call the auntie.
It's the witch from Malign Importance.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
And then I want the Rock Hero Moon dude. He's
Rock Hero Moon.
he is, I think, what are they called? An HQ for the army. It looks like he's holding the guitar. Some dude in the moon.
Like in the moon
I
head?
think he's called the Loon Boss.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
yeah.
I know names. But yeah, he caught my eye too.
All right, fair enough.
You
just like the moons.
Yeah,
Got
it reminds me of an anime.
Yeah, Soul Eater.
Yeah. But he was really cheap on eBay. I paid like $15 for him.
Hey.
And I was like, cool, I bought them. It's like, so I have the endless spell and I have the loom boss. And I was like, well, can I play with this? It's like, kind of need more, buddy. So I just put it away.
Fair enough. Oh, speaking of eBay, eBay's such a fucking bitch. All right, walking a little story. I am fucking so hard for heresy. It's crazy. Like my dick is rock hard for heresy.
That's the one that follows the story, right?
Yes.
Which I don't get it.
But
I don't get why you guys so into it. I just look at it like it's 40K, guys.
no, it's 30K, sir.
It's old 40K.
No, it's 30K. It's its own thing.
But then again, what do I know?
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck do you know?
I was being quiet over
don't
here.
besmirch my
While
fucking
you guys are
game.
having your moments,
Okay.
No, all right. Hey.
Yeah,
What do
so I
I
thought.
know?
Yeah, go fucking look at your phone. All right, so
I don't read the books. Who has time
eBay,
to read books?
eBay, fucking. eBay is a problem for me, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was super hard for heresy, and I was like, oh, like let me look at these black books because the black books, they have the rules for stuff. And granted, the first one, because I always like to start at the first one because my fucking OCD won't let me go past that. I looked at the first one and I was like, all right. I saw one. It had like some cover damage, and I was like, all right, this is my price. I'm gonna set it and forget it. Fucking Ronco electric food dehydrator. Boom, set it and forget it. Right. I lost it. And I was like, okay, fine. That's great. eBay emails me and like, hey, there's this other one. And it's perfect, right? No real damage on it. Just regular wear and tear. And I look at it, I'm like, I'll this is my highest bid. I fucking forget about it. Completely. I don't even know. I didn't even look at the time in which this thing was ending. I didn't look at anything but the price. And I was like, this is as high as I'll go. I'm pretty sure I'll get outbid, so but that's fine. You gotta take some. You gotta win some. You lose some. eBay pops up. It's like you won. I was like, huh? I didn't have any money, and I was like, I don't have money to buy this.
eBay,
and
you don't understand.
Yeah,
I'm poor.
exactly. And I even messaged the seller, and I was like, look, explaining like I do want this book. I don't have the money. I wasn't expecting to win. If you can wait a couple of weeks, I'll have the money for you. Does not send me any kind of response. But, like I said, 2 weeks later, I was like, well, I already said it. And when I say something, I do it. So, I said it. I fucking sent the money. And I got it in a week. So, I now have a Forge World Black Book. And it has all the rules for the first 4 Trader Legions. And the thing is, it's like bare minimum rules. Like it doesn't have all the named characters. Like if you're gonna play Heresy, buy those red books if your Legion is in there. But it's the Sons of Horus, World Eaters, Death Guard, and is it Word Bearers? Yeah, Word Bearer. Oh no, Emperor's Children. I'm sorry. Emperor's Children are in that first book, and yeah, I mean,
all you had to do is go hungry for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And offered PP touches on an email, sir. If you give me 2 weeks, I promise I'll go to your house.
I'll fly out to Illinois.
I'll PP touch you 2 times, get my book, and come home.
Yeah.
Which I understand all these fucking books for Warhammer. Why can't you guys make like one of those apps things where you have the whole book, and if you want the expansions, you pay like $34 instead of like $50 a book.
I can do you better. It's free and it's called Battlescribe.
like
Everybody shits on Battlescribe, but guess what? It's fucking free and it gets updated the most frequently.
Preach.
So you can't really shit on something that you're not paying for.
True. Like I was telling John, I'm getting to kill teams and I want. He's like, oh, there's been expansions. I was like, oh, cool. It can't be that expensive. He's like, each book's $50. I was like, fuck you. Why do you guys gotta pay so much for goddamn books?
I'm not into kill teams, so no. you do you, baby. But on the topic of kill teams and switching on to games played.
I finished my army. I finished my 40K army. I bought the last Skyweavers for my Harlequins. And the Wizard Dude. What is it called? Shadowseer. I finally have a complete 40K army.
All right.
He still needs a unit of bikes.
Really? I take
Yeah,
it back.
those bikes are fucking. You're gonna want those primo bikes, dude.
I mean,
Isn't that the Squeeweavers they bought?
Huh?
Isn't that the Squeeweavers they bought?
No, Skyweavers
You
are
bought-
like the.
No. The Skyweavers are the bikes. You bought them?
Yeah, remember I gave them to you
No,
the day
you-
we played Kill Teams? I gave you a box.
Hold up, wait a minute. There's some
Those are my bikes. And then that same day at Grimworks...
breaking news. Breaking news. John fucking lost something like he does every fucking day.
Well, that's the reason we met up for Kill Teams. I was going to give him the bikes.
I didn't lose them. I just don't remember getting them.
I gave him...
He just left him in the store.
Oh, no, he had...
No,
we're going to play Agent
Yeah,
Sigmar.
yeah.
He put them in the box. They're going to go put this in my truck. So we're going to play Kill Teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then that same afternoon at the Grimdark, I bought the last Shadow Seer they had.
You see what had happened was my truck got stolen.
No, but that's what I was so happy
Yeah.
because I was looking at eBay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for the Orc commander for the Kill Teams,
Mm-hmm.
and of course it reminds me, oh, you bought the Skyweavers.
Yeah.
I was like, I do have value prize. I finished a complete list of 40K.
All right, now
And
it
it
just got
turns
to
out
be.
that John forgets and it's probably somewhere stuck underneath the truck holding up something.
Like a pizza box.
Actually, I know exactly where they are. I just didn't realize they were the bikes.
No,
But fair enough.
I have a full list for 40K. Me said it could be good.
All right, fair enough.
Other than I
No.
can't use the pirate ships that I love so much from.
Yeah, because it
the
turns
Inari.
into a
Well,
Inari
you
list.
could eventually. You just have to buy enough Dark Eldar stuff to make at least a patrol detachment.
I'm good with the Harlequins and the Inari.
Yeah, the Harlequins and the Inari.
Yeah.
Which the Inari got rules in a...
I know they got their own book too, no?
no, well, they got a supplement in the White Dwarf, but I didn't buy that one, I don't think. I think I missed
It
it.
was April's, I think, right? It was this month's. I'm not too sure. I asked Dragon's Lair, which is where I get my comics, but I asked them if they could put a White Dwarf in there, and it wasn't in there, so I have no idea what's going on.
But I mean, the Harlequins are a very tough army to play with.
But we knew that when I started picking them up.
Yeah.
They're very tactical.
They're a glass job like a motherfucker, but if they go off hard. Cause you put them all in their Void Weavers, I think they're called, their transports. The Void Weavers have a natural -1 to hit at them, and they have like a 12-inch movement. So you get them into your close to your opponent's units, and then on the next turn you disembark, and you charge with the transport first, because they're not going to take it down in Overwatch.
Yeah.
So that eats up the Overwatch, and the clowns charge in. They have like 4 or 5 attacks each clown, and the entire unit can take specialized weapons. So they are actually really good if they can get into combat.
They're an enemy army.
For sure.
Because, all shit could be aside, then the Solitaire jumps in and just shit freezes, like, oh, you guys are gonna get fucked up now, because here comes the Solitaire.
And somebody fucking shoots him with a sniper rifle.
And he's like, he catches it with his fingers, like, all anime.
Uh-huh.
It's like, please. Then he
No, but
vanishes. Then he vanishes behind you and just cuts the throat of the dude trying to shoot him.
Yeah, but then you fucking roll that one, and you close your fingers too early, it bursts your fingers, and it goes through the fucking Solitaire's brain. Yeah, I know the feeling.
All these characters and all this art that's so pretty in Warhammer, I still don't know why it's not an anime or a cartoon or.
They do have something in the works, but
Because I hear you guys talk about the books and how the story's so fucking awesome. I was like, someone go to like Rooster Teeth or any animators and get this shit made into like an anime.
The thing
It would
about
fucking be badass.
Grimworks,
Work.
GW, Games Workshop, is that they won't do something unless they can make 100% of the profit. So they won't outsource the anime and risk losing some of the profits.
We all know.
And then
They're
they don't know
British.
how to make anime, so
British, right?
Yeah.
English.
English.
We all know no really good anime comes out of there, so. But it would be cool. I would eat up the fucking, because the horrors and the fucking demons and all that shit you guys talk about. I was like, dude, it would be such a badass anime. But that's my 2 cents.
I probably still don't watch it. I probably just read the books.
Yeah.
But we're talking a lot about Tony and his hobby progress, but let's go into games played, because Tony actually played something.
Yeah, I play Kill Teams. For the longest time, I've been talking a lot. I talk a lot of shit,
Yeah.
especially in our league and everything like that. And I was like, You know, in order to shit talk, you gotta walk the walk. So I finally, like, I played 40K before. And the only thing was like, oh man, this game is too long, John. So they gave me kill teams this short. It's fun. It was fun until I found out at the fucking end that it ended in the tie, and that just pissed me the fuck off. I was like, I'm okay with losing, because losing means there is only place to learn and grow. But he's like, no, it's a tie. And of course, because it's a tie and it pissed me off, John ends up winning. But it was cool. I like the whole small setup. We were playing objective control. So fucking motherfucker cheated because he hit some dude behind a wall I couldn't see. And because I'm fat, I didn't want to stand up.
I mean, that's
so
not...
I was across the thing. That's my fault.
That's not
but
cheating. That's your...
He knew me. He knew what was happening. So I see a sniper in the back and he's like, he's been there the whole time. And he's like, he has objective control, man. Whatever. But I was trying to learn my army. I was playing orcs. I was trying to play mindful. Trying to see where he sets up so I could set up. And I was like, I'm gonna be shooting him from this. I even focus my rocket launchers versus his sniper dudes. And then it turns out that fuck all that. Orcs just put them all together and brush the fuck out of them, and they end up scaring. I learned that I'm ready for the next game. But it was a learning game. It was fucking cool, dude. It was like 30 minutes. It was in and out. It was 4 or 5 turns?
4.
4 turns. We were learning the rules. And it made me want to play more. And I'm like, oh, okay. Nah, he lent me his book. I'm learning, the names and shit. And how to put it together. And I found out that, with the orcs, it's bash them. You got to get in there, take your charges, and make sure to... I think with the orcs, it would be good if I go second turn. That way I can know where to position them to get a full charge.
Alright.
But yeah, they can't shoot for shit.
No, not at all. They're not.
And motherfucking you. And then he aimed for my big dudes first. So all I had was, regular orcs. And he's like, haha. But, I mean, for him being an experienced seasons player and I'm coming in fresh, being a tie wasn't, bad. I kind of wanted to win, though. I really wanted. At the end, I got so focused because we're having light conversation. Shit, I go, shut up. It's the last turn. I was all calculated. I even go, I don't think you could see me from there. And he's like, dude, I could see you. I was like, nah, get out the fucking ruling thing. Because the first turn I was like, oh, yeah, that's 3 inches. I could do it. He's like, yeah, go for it. Last turn when he goes, if you don't finish me off, it's going to be a tie. I got the fucking ruler out. I got, you can't see me from that corner. Started counting shots. I started making sure we started going back and forth because I was like, okay, you're going to shoot me, I shoot you kind of deal. No, the last one's like, roll your fucking dice. I was calling all shit. I got like super competitive. And then
I'm never playing you.
As I told him, dude, that's what I like about the game. It made me fucking competitive. It's like, okay, let's go. And so, I found out. And I had everything until I didn't see that motherfucker inside the church wall. And I was like, dude, there's a dude there. He's like, he's been there since the beginning. I was like, I threw my shit down. I was like, all right, it's done.
Did you purposely, not shoot with him at all or anything?
I shot with him the first turn. The problem is I started the game off with 18 models, so he probably didn't realize that there was somebody shooting from there. I was just
said, it was friendly until the last where I found out I couldn't win or lose. That hurt my soul. But
then this 5 orcs started coming up towards the church, and he was coming up against 5 Astronaut Charm guys that I had there. Yeah. And I was like, okay, he's about to make his first charge of the game. He's gonna realize he's gonna slaughter my guys. So the guy that was in the church by himself, I stopped using him. I was like, at least I'll have that one objective. It's only costing me 1 5-point guardsman.
That's part of the game, baby. He knew that one. He was just like, all right, I just purposely won't use him.
This is how bad the fucking last turn got. How intense it got. I got my fat ass up. I was like, I'm gonna get to him. He's like, it's too late, Tony. I was like, no. I was cocking the fuck out of that last turn, and he was just there. He's like, it ain't gonna happen. And then somebody chimed in. He's like, well, you should have done that. And I go, I know. I didn't know, but I told him, I know.
The funny thing is that he on that last turn, he got off of objectives to try to get as many charges in. So
Yeah,
if he had
I did.
left one guy behind on an objective, he would have beat me by 1 point.
This is not his game. If he just like you have to stand on objective
Well,
sometimes.
I was trying to clear the table. I go, we're in enough points.
Uh huh.
I had enough troops where I could at least thought I could have cleared the table.
Okay.
Right? And then
The thing is, I kept getting really lucky with the flesh wounds.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I forgot using the command point to reroll to save my dudes.
Yeah.
But and I go and I started being like, John, I'm fucking close enough to eject it. He's like, bring out the ruler. He's like, oh, you're like half an inch off. Sorry. I was like, you motherfucker. And then he started going toward the guys. I did live in objectives.
Yeah.
He's just like, I got a sniper, dude. I go, bullshit. He's like, I got him. I was like, oh, and John of all times has really bad dice rolls.
Mm-hmm.
He started rolling them dice and they're coming up his way. He was like, wow.
That's the thing. I am not good at killing my opponent. I'm good at surviving on the table.
He was like, oh shit, I'm saved.
It's very reminiscent of the game I had.
I'll have guys that already have a flesh wound, so they'll die on a 3-up and ones, twos.
Yeah, but yeah, it was all intense. Got a hollow up. I was the dude there chiming in. I was like, I know, I get it. Hold up. And
I'm gonna deal with you in a little bit.
Nah, he was like the nicest dude. He's like, oh, you're orcs. He's like, yeah, good luck with that. He's like, I got it. You're supposed to rush in with all of them. I know this now.
Didn't know when he started.
Yeah.
Didn't know when it started.
But that's the thing that now you know when you go back
yeah.
in, you already know. Like
I wanted to go out this weekend to go, but family shit came up and I couldn't. But I'm itching for another game.
All right.
Which is it's pretty cool. It's small enough where we could do it like outside or in one of these rooms.
For sure. Yeah. It doesn't require a lot of terrain, so I mean, it's pretty good.
What sucks is that there's so many modes that I would have to get used to all the modes before we get back to the objective. At least in my
yeah.
I'm kind of one on before we get back to the objective. Because if all we play is objective, that's all I'm gonna know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you want to randomize your game types just so that you like can get both spectrums of that. What about you, John? You play any other games besides this Kill Team?
I didn't.
Really?
I haven't played anything.
I surprisingly played a game of 40K. Yeah, that's right, people. 40K.
When did you do that?
Because fellow friend Mark.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mark had 1,000 points of his Custodes, and I always tell him, look, if you want to get these guys painted, I know how you are with your fully painted. That's an awesome. I love that mentality. That's sort of my mentality. I try to do that, but at a certain point, you gotta actually play with these guys, and through playing with these guys, you'll get like, oh, this guy's gonna get a fucking like a racing stripe down the back of his fucking head because he did work. Surprisingly, there was one fucking. I had to sub because of course I fucking forgot something, so I had to sub like a Primaris lieutenant for a Primaris. Just a regular Primaris sergeant, and he was surviving in combat, but he had Custodes, 1,000 points of Custodes versus 1,000 points of Dark Angels. I knew I was gonna lose, and I did. I totally did. I think it was 9-6.
What did he have? Like 10 models on the table, maybe.
Hold on, He had 12 models. I had a battalion, so I at least had 3 troops choices, which were 5-mans. So, I mean, the thing is, I told him, like, what do you want to play? And I suggested Purge the Alien. Purge the Alien. I don't know what it's called now. I know that's what it was called in 7th edition. Basically, just kill points. Just fucking, you kill me, I kill you. Every unit is a kill point. But we have, Linebreaker, Slay the Warlord, and not first. Is it First Strike?
First Strike, yeah.
Yeah. So we play with those. And I was like, those are good secondary objectives. Boom, we got it. So we're on a little 4x4 because of course it's 1,000 points. He has two jet bikes, HQs. I have my answer to that is two venerable dreadnoughts, with twin last cannon and missile launchers, with a tech marines like right behind them so you can repair them. And but the thing is, he ended up winning. It was like a 3 point deficit. Because he was able to kill my warlord. I was able to table him. I was able to get everything off of the table. I only had one dreadnought left. I literally had one dreadnought that killed him. But I still lost on points. But I will say this. It was probably the most fun I've had with a 40k game in a very long time. And it's because it may not seem like it when you meet me. Because I'm not this type of person. But I think I enjoy teaching people. Or like getting people back into like into the mode of playing again. Just because I don't care. Like I don't care if I win or lose. So let me help them and like remind them, oh, like remember this is part of the phase, or you can always do this, or I always like doing that more than I'm not a competitive person with Warhammer in general. So I kind of just took that as it was, and I had a lot of fun. And it was a bloody game. I mean, I only had one fucking dreadnought left, and I was able to wipe him out. I was like, all right, moral victory, but I still lost. So, but I didn't care. It was a fun game. Other than that, I think that's the only game I played. I'm hoping that I can get a horsey game in this week. So,
Would you be able
fingers
to do that
crossed.
at conventions?
Like teach games
or try to like
or like demo games.
demo games.
Yeah, I think so. Cause I have a fairly good grasp on rules. Like once I read it and like I kind of just like okay, I'll kind of have to play a few games myself, but I'm pretty good at like remembering rules and like oh do this. It's just the problem comes in when I'm playing too many game systems. And I'm like oh fuck, what's the rule here? That becomes a problem. But if I'm focusing on one game, at least for like a weekend, if it's at a convention or something, I'm sure I could do that.
Because Warhammer seems like it's one of those hard games to get people like enticed into.
The only thing is, the best way to get into Warhammer is kill teams, and I'm just not into kill teams.
No?
No.
What is it about kill teams that rubs you the wrong way?
I like the idea. I like it that it's a small game that you get in and out. You know what I mean? You can play a game in 30 minutes. I do like that idea. The problem that I have with it is that it seems fairly limited, and every iteration, like they have commander already, right? Which bumps up the points value, so you're getting more stuff on the small thing, which is cool because you can start getting into battle quicker. You know what I mean? There's more things to shoot at, more things to kill. That's fine. Then they had arena, which arena is kind of bad. Arena is like $80,
Jeez.
and you can only set up the board that way because it's supposed to be like the most competitive version of kill teams. So you have basically like this one way you play this game, and that is it. So that kind of like okay, well, that's not for me.
That's like the fun of it.
Yeah, but then they're like, oh, we're gonna add elites now. So it's like motherfucker. How many things are you going to add? And I basically just said, and everybody on the internet kind of agrees with it, it's just like, fucking, we're just beta testing 9th edition. Like, that's all we're doing.
That's what John told me. That's one of the theories. Like,
because, like,
these are going to be the rule changes, guys.
Exactly. And everybody's going to be like, everybody that played kill teams, you already know the rules. And that's fine, but for me, small scale games don't really do it for me unless I can do something different with it. So it's possible that I have to just get a brand, like not a brand new army, but like start a new little thing for that. Like maybe I have to start like Tau, which is completely different than anything that I play. So why not try that? Maybe that's the way I'll get into kill teams. And I can, because I'm more of a hobbyist than a game player. So maybe I could really take a kill team, like a Tau kill team, and I can like, do some conversions and like do like a cool paint job that I don't see very often, kind of things like that, and make it my own, to where that's what it'll be. But the thing is, they just keep adding shit on there, and it's just like, well, you're just making the game bigger, and at a certain point, when are you gonna make the fucking map bigger? Because it's just fucking 40K. So I'd rather just play 40K at this point.
So it's like we're gonna keep adding shit until it becomes 9th edition.
Exactly, until it becomes a fucking 2,000 point game. I'm just like, well,
like,
I'll just play a 2,000 point game.
Here's your 9th edition, guys. But if you want, you can still play the.
Like they're gradually bumping up like that 30 minutes into like 45 minutes, an hour, and before you know it, you're like playing an hour and a half 2,000 point game. Oh, okay.
And then somebody would be like, if you guys want to play Kill Teams, that's something you could do. But
yeah, check out the new version of Kill Teams, and it's just beta testing 10th edition. I'm like, God damn it.
God damn it, Games and Workshop, you got me again.
Exactly. So I just Kill Teams isn't my cup of tea as of right now. Maybe I do have to completely read the rule book and see if that'll change my mind. But
which the rule books, god damn, they hurt my fucking head.
The rule books are fine. I'm fine with it. The thing is, I can see from your point of view, like a brand new player, kind of looking at these rule books, and it's not like you're new to games, but just like all the information. Yeah, exactly. So it's an overload.
Make it like a NFL playbook. You're like, Monitos go here. You gotta get them that way. And
that's why Arena, the Kill Teams Arena, is for you.
No, yeah,
because it's basically like it's set and play.
That's why
go ahead and fucking do it.
That's why I like Kill Teams, because it's for me, and it could get like hella competitive, and it's down to like the centimeter. He's like, oh, can't reach it.
Yep.
So there's one line. That's cool. That's why I wanted to try Blood Bowl for a long time, because it's just small competitive teams.
I told Jay, I was like, let me see what the new year looks like, and we'll see if I can get into it.
Because I have Blood Bowl staring at me right there.
Yeah.
And I put it together too. I was like, look, John, build stuff. And that's all I did. I let go of it. Because the rules were just like, reading. Who has time for reading?
Oh my god, you're reading on a fucking... you're reading on a tablet right now. But yeah, that's it for games played. We're going to go into kind of the meat of the show. Sorry it took so long. But John wanted to talk about some demons.
Demons. Demons are good. Play demons. Next.
There was the Adepticon that just happened not too long ago.
I was really excited about this. This isn't a list I would necessarily play because, of course, they're just like taking the cheesiest stuff possible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Smite spam, but just the fact that demons came in first place at Adepticon really made me happy. So there was a battalion detachment with a Poxbringer using Miasma of Pestilence and a Sloppity Biopiper. The troops was a unit of 3 Nurglings and 2 30-man Plague Bearer units. These were primarily used to clog up the battlefield and hold objectives.
Yeah.
Then there was another battalion detachment which had a Changecaster with Flickering Flames and Gaze of Fate, a Demon Prince of Chaos with Mark of Corn and some special stuffs on him, making him... basically, he was what was used to take down knights.
Okay.
Which was really neat, like reading about the gameplay. Like this Demon Prince would just pop out of nowhere and fuck up a knight, and then just keep going from there, keep fucking shit up.
Yeah.
It had a unit of 15 Bloodletters for a Bloodletter Bomb, a unit of 25 Pink Horrors for a Pink Horror Bomb, and 10 Brimstone Horrors, just to cast Smite one more time, if possible, on one die.
Yep.
And Smite, so pretty.
And to hold objectives.
Yeah.
And then there was a Supreme Command detachment of Thousand Suns, which was Ahriman with Death Hex, Doombolt, Zinch's Firestorm, a Demon Prince of Zinch with Infernal Gaze, Warp Prime, Malefic Talon, Demon Prince of Zinch with Bolt of Change, Gaze of Fate, Malefic Talons, and a Sorcerer in Terminator armor with a Force Sword, Infernal Combi Bolter, and Temporal Manipulation and Weaver of Fate. So there's a lot of Smite spam. Thousand Suns can ignore the rule where you bump up Smite by 1 when you cast. So they were just a lot of mortal wounds to and fro.
Yeah.
The Bloodletters came in and fucked shit up. The Demon Prince of Corn came in and fucked shit up. And all the Nurgle stuff just clogged the battlefield and survived, which is what Nurgle does.
Yep.
So it was 14 command points, which is a pretty good amount.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that you have a total of fucking 60 Plague Bearers,
Yeah.
it's not easy to mull through
No,
too
not at all.
much.
Fuck no, it isn't.
So the Demon Prince of Corn had the Skull Reaver relic, which turns him into a one-man wrecking crew. On the charge, he makes 6 strength, 11, AP -4, damage D6 attacks that hit on 2
Damn.
and reroll 1s. And on a wound roll of 6+, he causes D3 mortal wounds.
Fuck.
So there was a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah.
So is that like a lot of damage?
Yeah, it's a lot of
It's
damage.
a fuckload of damage.
I heard Ron get all giddy. I was like, I want to get giddy too.
I mean, yeah, I'm always like a damage fiend, and if you can like do that, I mean, that's in fighting games. Like, I was always a damage guy. When I hear like big numbers for fucking close
It
combat,
gets
I'm
you
like,
all moist.
fuck yeah, I could see chaos.
So I'm really excited for the Shadow Spear right now. I got
Other than the stupid fucking price.
yeah.
Uh,
But I'm not
and-
talking about the box as a whole. I'm mostly talking about Greater Possessed and Masters of Possession.
So Shadow Sphere like a whole different game.
No,
No.
I think it's a game unto itself, just like any other box.
I don't think so.
No,
No, I think it's just literally
just a
an
versus
expansion. Yeah.
All right. So what is Shadow Sphere? Explain to the noob.
Shadow Spear is Chaos Space Marines versus
Regular Space
regular
Marines.
Space Marines. But it came with new models and rules for both sides.
So you're just gonna get those models and use them with your Chaos Army.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking about either reigniting an old army that I had or starting a new one completely. So I want to use all 6 Greater Possessed in one list.
Okay.
I'm either going to make a new army entirely by making them Flawless Host,
Okay.
which for those of you who don't know, Flawless Host used to be the Shining Swords, which used to be an Imperium army after the Horus Heresy, but Big E was like, hey, you guys are too fanatical. You need to chill your shit out. And they're like, fuck you, don't tell us what to do. So they're just like, chaos.
Chaos.
You guys don't mind if we fuck shit up, right? And Chaos is like, nah, bro, you do you. And he's like, all right, we're Chaos now. So they have they come with the rule that on 6s they can make an additional attack using the weapon that they used,
Okay.
which their weapons are really good.
Nice.
Now that stacks with the ability they already have of doing that against Imperium only. So against non-Imperium on 6s they generate an extra attack. Against Imperium on 6s they generate 2 additional attacks. So I was thinking about doing a list with 6 Greater Possessed, 1 or 2 Masters of Possession, the new Executioner. I want to get him. And it would kind of be just like a character list, because all these things essentially are characters.
Yeah.
And just pile a couple of rhinos with as much fucking beat sticks as possible, and just kind of have it all on one side of the table and drive it all down, and then attack and just take my opponent down from left to right or right to left,
Yep.
however have you. It's definitely a list that cannot be spread apart.
But yeah.
So I don't know whether I'm going to have it as Flawless Host or reignite my Demonkins of Khorne and have them as Khorne, who just has a static rule to add 1 attack on the charge only.
Yep.
But I mean, I do have a bunch of Khorne stuff that's just sitting there that I haven't used since Demonkin in 7th edition. So,
Well, I mean,
What about the other side of the box?
the Space Marine stuff, that's all going to the army that Roman's no longer playing. The Blood Angels.
yeah.
Thought you just put it for sale.
Nah. I got,
He's got plans for it.
yeah.
Get the plans for it.
But I mean, if you just put it together, why not try it with corn first? See if you like
Mhm.
the way that plays. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be playing like that, I mean, what would you use the actual Marines as?
The Marines are not going to be used. It's mostly just the Greater Possessed, the Masters of Possession, and then the new Crab Walkers.
But what are they gonna be like? What were you thinking for their chapter or whatever the fuck?
For
For their their chapter rule.
well, with Vigilance Ablaze, there's now chapter rules for uh
The flawless
the
host.
Flawless Host, which
Oh,
is
okay.
the 6 is generated additional attack.
Gotcha. All right. All right.
So and then Chaos has a lot of ways to bump that up to where you can get it down to like 5s or 4s.
Okay.
So I don't know if I don't know mathematically speaking what would generate more attacks, rolling the 6s or just getting that one additional attack on the charge to begin with. And then of course, you shouldn't always just go for what you think is best. You should go for what you're gonna have fun with. And
Yeah.
the Flawless Host just seems like a fun fucking bunch of dudes.
You're not supposed to have fun. You're supposed to go for the win. Cut the throat.
But I mean, I do miss my.
Yeah. How does that work for you, huh?
I try my hardest.
Did it end in a win? No.
Did I say that I hate games that end in fucking ties? There's supposed to be like a special rule, be like you get one more turn,
Nah.
finish them off, or you lose. I'm okay with losing. I love winning. Hate ties. Always go for the win. Always.
Sore loser.
Oh hell yeah! I told him. He's like, don't fucking talk to me. And he's like, but I win because you're a man. I was like, fuck you.
It's true.
So, on the topic of demons,
Yes.
Roman, hit us up with some knowledge.
Yes. I have perfect photographic memory, and in no way did get a PDF to get some of these rules. Just running off of my perfect photographic memory of these 30K rules. So 30K, as we all know, book 8 of those big luscious black books just came out. A lot of people are starting to talk about them. The thing is, there is heresy shows that you should totally listen to for that information. I'm just gonna kind of gloss over some stuff if y'all haven't heard about 30K, and like if you have demons, you can start using this stuff. So the number one thing here, like right off the bat, using the Demons of the Ruined Storm army list. All right, and this is the biggest rule, and this is what was like, oh, I know my second army already for heresy, even if I haven't fucking finished my first one. In terms of faction and allegiance levels, Demons of the Ruined Storm army lists must always be used to represent a force of the traitor allegiance, and are treated as agents of the War Master for purposes of ally chart. If you don't know what agents of the War Master means, it basically means battle brothers, which means now any faction that is traitor, when you do classify them as traitor, you can have at least an allied detachment of demons, and they don't fight each other, which is different from back when, because word bearers were the only legion that could actually work with demons and actually work with them, not have just demons on the field.
Yeah, this isn't 40K, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
In 30K, the traders weren't worshipping chaos yet. They were just against the Emperor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they have a lot of designer notes in this, like it's designer commentary, just letting you know. They're basically saying, look, we offer a huge range of models. Go ahead and use those models. Don't be a dick. When you say that model is that in a game, use it as such. Do not double back and say it's a different kind of thing. They even give you a demons and bases. So they actually tell you, like, okay, lesser demons, which we'll get into later, are on a 32 mil base. This end all be all, just 32 mil base, doesn't matter. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff in there. But with Demons of the Ruinstorm, there's a lot of different rules. Models with this ability have a 5+ invuln and gain the Fear special rule. So in addition, they are immune to fear, the Fear special rule themselves, and automatically pass pinning, fear, and regroup tests. Doesn't mean that they pass morale, but everything after that they can. And cannot fail a morale phase due to our weapons are useless rule. So that's another rule. We'll get into it. But yeah, just going over this, there is a special Ruinstorm Perils of the Warp chart. Perils of the Warp chart. So this comes into effect in different ways, actually, because they want to show you that like demons in 40k or in 30k are unknown, and they just work differently. With this Perils of the Warp chart, what happens is when you do perils, you go to this chart. You don't use the normal chart. When you actually fail a morale and you fall back, you use this chart. Like it's an added to the thing, because in most cases they're just gonna disappear. Like that's the thing about this army, is that in 30k they just come out of nowhere and they signify that in the rules, which I think is fucking really really cool. So they're going to use that Perils of the War chart. Again, I'm not going to go too much into detail on this. If you do want us to, let us know and we'll give you actual coverage of this. I'm just kind of glossing over some of this stuff. Now, Pardon of the Veil is actually how they come into play. They don't come into the play the way you would think. If you're using lesser demons and things of that nature, there's these like a large blast, like the 10-inch blast. Basically, you have these set up around the field, and that is where your demons come in from. So if they're going to come in turn 1, they have to come in from those. They have to, I believe it's nothing can be within 10 inches of it. So they automatically just like come out 10 inches. Oh, it's a large blast. It's a 5-inch. I'm sorry. 10-inch. It's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, it's a 5-inch marker. So they tell you can use anything. They even say like if you want to have like a kind of domed kind of 5-inch template, and you paint it with some swirly colors. That's pretty thematic, and you should go for that. But it just depends on what it is. I believe if you are using if they're an ally, it is 3 of these warp rifts that you get, and if it's a full army, you're just using nothing but Ruins of the Demon Storm, you get
Demons of the Ruin Storm.
Demons of the Ruin Storm. Sorry, I'm just rereading this. Yeah, they have to come in within 6 inches of the warp rift marker, and they can, while they're inside of that 6 inches, they get to reroll invuls. So that is actually
still 5-up invul across the board.
You actually have saves with demons. Yeah. So just kind of running through these rules. Rules that place modifiers on reserve rolls, they pretty much ignore for that. But with these things, with the rift markers, that's how they come in. So if you have anything in reserves, you still have to roll for reserves, which is 3+, and it cannot be modified in any other way. It is 3+, and they can come in. But they have to come in within 6, and when they're within 6, it's reroll failed invuln. But they also have the Tides of Madness, which is just something you're gonna want to pay attention to. All models with this special rule are directly affected by the shifting tides of the warp, and have their base statistics modified based on the current game turn as shown in the table below. So between turns 1 and 2, you get +1 toughness and +1 strength. On turn 3 and 4, nothing happens. There's no modifier. For 5 and 6, you get -1 toughness and -1 strength. At 7 plus turns, you get -2 toughness and -2 strength. Just kind of saying that, like, as they get out of the warp, they're their strongest. But as they get away from the warp, it starts weaning and they start dissipating. So I think that's really themey. I think that's really fucking cool. Now, there is their weapons. Their weapons are actually called Emanations of Horror. Everything is broken up into 3 brackets. Those 3 brackets tell you which demons can take which weapons. When you go to the next page, they actually tell it. Like, let's see. I'll just read. Let's go with Demonic Wings. So Demonic Wings are it's 5/25 dash points per model. The unit type changed from infantry to jump infantry or jump pack monstrous creature, that kind of stuff, right? Well, when it says when it has a number, a slash number, that means that bracket 1 can take it, bracket 2 can take it, but bracket 3, because it's a dash, cannot take it. So, and bracket 1 has Ruinstorm Demon Brutes, Lesser Demons, Beasts, Swarms, and Cavalry. Bracket 2 is Demon Lords, Greater Demons, Demon Shriek, and Demon Chosen. Bracket 3 is Greater Demon Beast and Demon Behemoths. So they're their strongest thing. Now, those actually do start off on your table. Like your HQs and stuff like that, like those Greater Demons, they have to start on the table and everything else can come in through those warp markers. So that's how they kind of get into like the deployments and that kind of stuff. They do have the Etheric Dominions, which are their warlord traits. So they have the Repentant Terror, which is Resplendent Terror. I'm sorry. Any army with this dominion may select an emanation of hate, including those usually restricted to any of the Etheric Dominions. So they're special weapons that can only be taken within that dominion. You can put that on almost anything. So that's a cool thing. Then the warlord traits you take, though, you have the Crimson Fury, which you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Won't get into that, but Crimson Fury, of course, is Khorne. Your Creeping Scourge is Nurgle. Your Lurid Onslaught is Slaanesh. And then you have the Maddening Swarms, which is Tzeentch. And you also have a standalone, which is called Mirrored Hate. And the thing is, it's more for demons versus demons. Kind of like for those mirror matches.
Yeah.
Mirrored Hate. It basically gives you hatred for demons of the Ruinstorm. So that's another cool thing. As I was saying, there are some named characters like Korvax, the Utter Blight Unbound. So he's a Nurgle Greater Demon. Or Demon Lord, I'm sorry. Just to give you a little rough cut, he's 425 points. But he does have the Lord of the Clay special rule. He has a Psyker, Gaping Maw, and Noisome Flesh. Noisome Tide of Flesh. But he's Weapon Skill 6, Ballistic Skill 3, Strength 7, Toughness 8, Wounds 8, Initiative 3. Attacks 5, Leadership 10, and Save 4+. Like I was saying, you actually do have some saves. So you're going to have like 3+, 4+, kind of stuff like that. Getting into the meat of your army, because these are troops. You can take Ruinstorm Lesser Demons. You can take Ruinstorm Demon Beasts. And you can also take Ruinstorm Demon Swarms. So those are your three troops choices. We're kind of used to 40k where it's like, oh, okay, you're going to devote to your god, you're going to use this. The beauty part about 30k at the moment is use whatever the fuck you want. If you have just bloodletters, but you want to play Zinch, go ahead and use those as, as such. Just be clear with your opponent. The thing is, your HQs will take an alignment, but that's just your HQ. It doesn't mean your actual army. So there's no alliances when it comes to that. They're just demons. That's all they are at this point. Because in 30k, they don't know demons. They're just all demons. They don't know that this is bloodletters. These are demon nets. They don't care about any of that shit. So you have those, and they have specific rules. Like the lesser demons are just going to be your foot troops. They're going to have a 4+ save, which is already an improvement. But their infantry, their war gear is close combat weapons. They get no shooting. They do have the Demons of the Ruined Storm, the Tides of Madness, and Departing of Veil. You can add up to 15, so you can get 20 bombs. Like, that's as big, but it's going to cost you. It's 12 points per model, and they're already starting at 60 points. But you can do swarms as well, which are starting at 60 points. There are 3 swarms. You can add another 7 to make it a 10-man. Again, 4+ saves on all this stuff. But they also have Ruin Stormed Possessed as well. So those are just like your possessed, what am I trying to say? Like your Chaos Space Marines, basically. So those, I believe, are an elite choice, though. Those, come on. Oh, they actually are a troop choice. So, but they have the Slaves to Darkness special rule. So again, if you want us to really go, heavy, deep into these rules, we can. But that's just kind of an overview. They do have some leash choices, some fast attack choices, all that kind of stuff. And again, 30k is meant to be kind of use whatever the fuck you want. Convert, kit bash, whatever you want to do. So this got me super excited because the most important thing to me was like, how could I use these? Because I don't necessarily want to buy just demons and play a whole demon army. But I would love to have them, work with the Chaos Space Marines or the Traitor Legions. But I didn't want to necessarily start Word Bearers because their color scheme to me is just kind of bland. I just don't like their color scheme too much. But now that I know that they're Battle Brothers and nothing like that happens, I definitely am going to have my Emperor's Children. Because I want to play Emperor's Children in 40k, but guess what? They're probably not getting a fucking update anytime soon. So it doesn't really matter to me. I can even use, the demons that you're going to give me, John, from the trade. I can use that to start up a heresy kind of. I can have an allied detachment of demons with, my Emperor's Children. I think it'd be fucking cool. Because, as we all know, in the fucking Fenice, they fucking started conjuring up some demonettes, baby. I think they might have even named it a demonette at that point, so come on. I want to see that. And that's pretty much it. If you want us to go more into heresy stuff, I have no problem breaking down the White Scars and the Blood Angels stuff that did come out as well. But if you want us to go more in depth with any of this stuff, let us know, and we'll try to see what we can do for the next episode. Possibly do an extra episode, just kind of stuff that we can do there.
To dive deep into the heresy episode.
Yeah, dude, I love me some heresy.
I understand it.
Heresy is very.
John just said it's following the books. I was like, then why do you want to play it? You read the books.
No, it's not that. Like what it is just a how can I say it? Like, what's the best way for me to put it?
In the simplest terms of what's the difference between heresy and 40k?
The difference between 30k and 40k
Other than extensive ass model
is besides that is 40k is a war game.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's just a regular war game. Everybody kind of knows it. Boom, boom, boom. 30k is more of like a historical game. So think of like a World War II game. You know what I mean? It's a very niche thing.
What is it called when you go and so it's just a reenactment?
No, because you can do that. Like the Black Book I was talking about, they have campaigns where it's sort of the same as reenacting those, so you can do that. And some people do that with events. Like they'll say like, oh, we're gonna do the Istavan 5 drop pod assault. Like we're gonna do that the drop pod massacre. We're gonna do all of that, and you'll play that. But for me, for 30K, it just something about it just scratches that itch. I think it is more because I am more of a hobbyist and I do like the novels and I like that kind of stuff, where I kind of fell head over heels with it. And then I kind of forgot how maybe I need a distance between 7th edition, you know what I mean? To really appreciate, like, this is a really cool rule set. And I think there's a little more that can be done. And they're, of course, proving it with, all the books are coming out. So I'm super happy with that.
Good. I mean, gotta find something to put all that money in.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully by next episode, I'll at least have an idea with my Emperor's Children / Demons list that I can kind of go over with y'all's. And y'all let me know in the comments. See if it's something that can be improved there. But I think that's it for the show. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's it. Just y'all give me some feedback on my Demons for Chaos Space Marine.
Yeah, there you go. Give him some feedback on that list that he's thinking about with his, what are they called?
Masters of Possession and Greater Possessed.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about Shadow Spear, but yeah.
And Venom Crawlers.
And Venom Crawlers, of course.
Yeah, basically the only thing I'm leaving out is the 10-man squad and the Obliterators.
Oh, okay.
Interesting stuff, guys.
But that'll do it. Unless Tony, you have something to say?
Nope. I'm just gonna get better kill teams, and I don't want any other winner. I don't want no more ties in my future. Bet your ass I'm gonna fucking start playing standing up and looking at all corners and shit.
I believe it when I see it. But this has been episode number 32 of Perils of the Warp. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to interact with us in any way, go ahead, rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, if you're listening on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe. Click that little bell for Grimworks. So youtube.com/Grimworks if you don't already know. If you want to comment there, if you want to comment on our Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, we have it all. Just search out Grimworks. You're going to see the big, Jolly Roger type of image. That's us. And if you want to send us an email, go ahead and send it to citypod88@gmail.com. And the subject line, just put 40K or something, Wargaming, just so we know it's for this show in particular.
Warhammer. Just Warhammer.
Or Warhammer, whatever. But I believe that is it. I've been your host, Roman, and...
I'm John.
And our special guest...
It's Tony!
Alright, and if you don't know the sign out, Tony, because I doubt you listen, it's...
You guys can never get one done. I usually hear the Cowboy Bebop one.
There you go. You know what it is. So, like I say at the end of every episode...
Bye!
See you in the warp.
Later, Space Cowboys.
Fuck me, I'm working with dipshits.